Hey everyone, it's Carissa Wiley at sprinkledwithglitter.com. Thanks for joining me today. Today I am sharing two gorgeous card projects which feature the brand new Layered Lotus product suite from Concord 9th, and I'm also going to share my new favorite blending combo. I'm starting out with a panel of white cardstock. This is Hammermill cardstock. It measures 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches, and I'm aligning the first layer of the Layered Lotus stencil set over the top using the registration marks in the corners to help me align it with my panel. Then I'm starting out with some almond cardstock and I'm blending that all over the surface of this stencil and filling in all of those areas. You'll notice that I'm kind of blending one way and the other to make sure that I get great coverage. Now I'm aligning stencil number 2 and I'm going in with the Almond pigment ink again. Now I do want to mention this is a pigment ink, so I have dedicated this blending brush to this particular color of ink because number 1, it's a really light ink, and number 2, it's a pigment ink, so I want to make sure that it's not mixed with all of my other dye inks. Now I'm going to heat set that because it is a pigment ink before I do the rest of my blending. I'm aligning stencil number 3, and for this I am going to use avocado ink and blend all over the stencil, filling in all of those stem areas. Now I prefer to use a grip mat when I'm doing all of my ink blending. This one that I'm using today is from Altenew. I also have a fabulous one from Pink Fresh Studio, and I'll be sure to link both of those in the YouTube description below. Now, once I'm complete with stencil number 3, I'm going to wipe it off before I remove it. That's a lot of extra ink. And then I'm going to align stencil number 4. For this, I'm switching to a smaller ink blending brush because I have a smaller area to cover and it's easier for me to get into all of those small areas with a smaller brush. I'm using the artichoke ink this time to make a little bit darker than the avocado that I just used. I'm aligning the next stencil, which is stencil number 5, and I am using, this may be a little bit of a surprise, but Midnight for this layer. It's going to layer on top of the avocado really beautifully, and it's going to add a pop of blue into those little dots that are kind of surrounding the stem area. And I kind of chose this because I didn't want to bring in another color, and I kind of wanted to stick to the palette that I was using to create for this release. And this ended up being just such a beautiful choice. For the final stencil, I'm using honeycomb in all of the dots that kind of surround the top part of these lotus flowers. And then for the portion that overlaps with the florals beneath, I'm going to switch over to watermelon ink. And this is where I share my new favorite blending combo. I love anything watermelon and almond together. They are just so beautiful. One's kind of a beigey pink and the other's a bright pink, and they just look so beautiful. Now, after adding this watermelon along the bottom two kind of petals of these florals, I felt like all of the almond was blending together too much. So I went back to stencil number 2 and I'm adding just a kiss of that watermelon ink along the base of these lower petals. This is going to help differentiate them from the base that we created with the almond with stencil number 1. So I made sure that this pigment ink was dry before adding the dye ink on top, and you can see that I have really beautiful results. So this shows the two colors kind of blended together using inks, but I also really love this combo using cardstock and ink, and I'll show you that here in just a bit. Now I have my stenciled background and I can work on my sentiment. For this, I'm using the Layered Lotus stamp set. This is full of gorgeous greetings that coordinate with the die cut so wonderfully. And I'm going to stamp this onto some Midnight cardstock that I die cut using one of the sentiment labels from the Layered Lotus die set. Now, because I'm going to do some heat embossing on this, I'm going to prep this with my powder tool before I stamp. And once I have that nice and prepped, you can see I'm making sure I cover the entire thing. I'm going to ink up my stamp with a little bit of Versamark ink and stamp onto the surface of this sentiment label. I'll do this a couple of times just to make sure I have plenty of ink on the surface of my cardstock before I remove it and then add my embossing powder. Now for the embossing powder today, I am using platinum embossing powder from Altenew. This is a gorgeous kind of soft gold embossing powder. It's somewhere between a silver and a gold, and it looks incredible with the Concord 9th champagne cardstock, and that's why I'm using it today, because I knew I wanted to use some champagne cardstock accents. Now, I gave this just a minute to cool, and I checked the surface of the embossing powder before I set this down on my work surface and rubbed away all of the excess anti-static embossing powder that was on top. So that keeps the embossing powder from sticking to areas that I don't want it, but it can also leave a haze on the cardstock. So I just use a dry microfiber cloth to wipe away any of that excess. I have the frame for this sentiment label, and it is die cut out of some Almond cardstock. The reason it's out of Almond is because that's just what I had on hand. And I'm using it to create some dimension behind the champagne layer. So I just dotted on some liquid glue with a fine tip glue bottle and adhered that to the sentiment label that already has my sentiment stamped and embossed on it. And then I'm going to add some liquid glue to the back side of the champagne layer and lay that directly on top of that almond layer. And it just kind of all blends in. You don't even really notice that it's an almond layer beneath. It's close enough to white to make it work. Now I'm going to set an acrylic block on that, and then I'm going to trim down the panel that I created in the beginning. I'm taking about 1/4 of an inch off of every single side. By trimming off of all sides rather than just 2 sides, I make sure that that pattern stays directly centered on my card front. Now I have a couple of little die cut pieces. These are actually from the Lotus card front die set. And I am blending on a little bit of watermelon ink onto this almond cardstock. Again, this is just my favorite combo right now, and I just keep going back to it over and over again. I did use a micro blending brush from Altenew to add just a kiss of that color along the base of this almond cardstock. And I did want to mention that my watermelon ink pad is pretty on the dry side. So if you're picking up a lot of ink and you're not getting this soft blend, make sure you kind of dust it off on your work surface before taking it to your cardstock. I assembled those 2 little lotus pieces using some foam adhesive, and now I'm placing this at the bottom of the sentiment label, again using some foam adhesive and some tweezers to keep my hands out of the way. I have a piece of champagne cardstock here, and I have cut it to be a matte for this stenciled layer that we created at the beginning of the video. So I'm just adding some tape runner adhesive to the back of that and adding it onto that champagne layer. Once I have that positioned, I'm going to add a panel of my DIY foam adhesive to the back of this card front. And if you don't know about my DIY foam adhesive, I have a video on my channel sharing exactly how I create it. It is my favorite foam adhesive. Now, at this point, I struggled a little bit with what color card base I wanted to use, and this is often the hardest decision that I make. And I went back and forth between Sea Glass and Almond and Midnight. All of these would look absolutely beautiful, but I settled on Sea Glass. And I know that that's an interesting choice because I have no Sea Glass in the rest of this card, but I thought it looked absolutely beautiful with this ink blended panel, and that's what I went with. I added my card front onto the card base, and then I added my sentiment label using some more foam adhesive. I never said that this card would be mailing friendly, but it is absolutely gorgeous. And in the end, it's not too thick. But guess what I did? I put this on the wrong side of the card. So I trimmed it down and placed it onto a white card base to finish off card number 1 featuring the new Layered Lotus product suite from Concord 9th. Now it's time for a second card, and this one is so simple, yet it's a stunner. I've used the Layered Lotus die set to create my lotus pieces from some almond cardstock and my little stem there from some avocado cardstock. Now I'm using my watermelon ink pad and a mini ink blending brush from Altenew to add just a kiss of that watermelon ink along the base of these die cuts. Now the one at the top right, I don't need to blend that because it's just a layering piece to help me kind of connect all of these pieces together. But I am going to add a little avocado blending onto my avocado cardstock just to create some depth and dimension because I did add some layering onto the lotus pieces. I'm going to remove these from my grip mat and set them aside, and I love how this turned out. It's so beautiful, and this die set is very easy to layer up. So I have this first piece here, which is kind of like a fleur-de-lis, and you can use this piece die cut out of some avocado cardstock and create this without the stem, but I wanted the stem, so I am adhering the stem onto the base of that piece. And then I'm using some foam adhesive to add these layers. I'm using the foam adhesive behind that base layer there, as well as behind these two additional petals of the floral. And I'm adding a little bit of liquid glue to the top side of that foam adhesive to the sticky side to help me kind of slide this into place. I'll use my tweezers to help keep my hands out of the way. And now I have this beautiful layered lotus that's ready for my card. I die cut these label shapes from the Layered Lotus die set. I die cut the front piece from some sea glass cardstock and the base piece, which will create a shadow layer, from some champagne cardstock from Concord 9th. And now I'm adding this sea glass piece on top of that champagne piece. It creates a beautiful frame and again, a little more dimension, but you could skip the foam on this layer if you wanted to and just do it with some tape runner adhesive instead. I'm gonna add some liquid adhesive on the back side of my lotus again so I can kind of slide it into place. And I placed this on my grip mat so that label piece would not be kind of flying around on me. And I positioned my lotus perfectly in the center of this label piece. Now I have the smaller label sentiment shape from the Layered Lotus set here. This is from the die set. It's die cut from some Almond cardstock. It's actually the center portion that came out of that frame that I used earlier that was die cut from Almond cardstock. So I'm using all the pieces here and I'm just assembling one of those labels on top of the other. Now that that's assembled, I am going to take a panel of wheat cardstock and one of the sentiments from the Layered Lotus stamp set, and I'm going to stamp it in Versamark ink onto this panel of wheat cardstock. This panel measures 4 inches by 5¼ inches, so it's just slightly smaller than an A2 size card. And you can see I'm stamping it a few times with my Misty stamping tool to make sure that that sentiment is nice and dark. I added this assembled piece onto the card front using, you guessed it, some foam adhesive, because what's another layer at this point? And then I used some thinner foam adhesive to adhere this card front onto a wheat card base. I love this kind of tone on tone layering. I think it's absolutely beautiful. And clearly today I was having issues adding card fronts onto card bases because the first one I added onto the wrong side and this one I had to readjust several times before I got it right. And here's the part where I ruined the card. And maybe you don't think I ruined it, but I think I ruined it. I added some faux white splatter with a white gel pen. And maybe this would have been better if it wasn't faux white splatter and it would have given this a little texture, but I ended up absolutely hating this. So I had to do a little card surgery. I'm using a pair of long blade scissors to kind of undercut the card front, which I didn't need to salvage, but I was just trying to remove as much of the excess as I could before cutting underneath the label piece. Now I had a little faux white splatter on top of this little sea glass label piece, so I covered that up with a few little clear sequins from the neutral sequin assortment from Concord 9th. So I just added 3 clear little sequins onto this label piece to cover up that little white splatter at the top. And then I re-stamped the panel, added it onto my card base, and then added this back to the reassembled card to finish off my card. Now this card was actually rather easy to put together. It was quick and simple. It has that beautiful blended layered lotus there that's kind of the focal point. And there are several sentiment options in that layered lotus greeting set that you could use in place of the sending love, but this is perfect for a variety of occasions. So there you have it, 2 gorgeous card projects featuring the brand new Layered Lotus product suite from Concord 9th, as well as a look at my new favorite blending combination, whether it's the inks together or cardstock and ink. I absolutely love almond and watermelon blended together. They're absolutely gorgeous. Now, as always, I'll have links to the featured products used in these projects in the description at YouTube. So if you're looking for something in particular, be sure you check there. Or you can head on over to my blog at sprinkledwithglitter.com. I'll have that linked below as well. Over there, you're going to find more still shots, more information, and a complete list of supplies. I want to say thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed these projects and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notifications here so you don't miss any of my card making, paper crafting, and live stream videos that I share. I hope while you were here, you found a little joy, you found a little light, and you found a little inspiration. And if you found one or all three of those things, I've done my job here, and that makes me absolutely so thrilled. I would love it if you would leave me a comment in the YouTube comments below, letting me know which of these two cards is your favorite, if you can pick one. I don't know, it might be that second one. It's so simple, yet it's so gorgeous. Thanks again for watching. I'm so glad you're here, and until next time, I hope you have a fabulous day.